This city became immensely famous due to extremely frequent commercial trade. However, a river flowed right through it and then thrown into the sea. How could goods be transported to the opposite bank? Clever solution you came up with was a ferry, but this was at the river's estuary, where tides surged violently and winds whipped up fierce waves. In stormy conditions, sails could tear and human lives were at risk. You decisively stepped in and decided to build a bridge. You first tried piling stones in the river to create piers and laying wooden planks across them, but the planks were swept away by the waves, and the piers were swallowed by thick layers of silt. Cleverly shifting tactics, you turned to the traditional method of driving piles, yet the soft, deep silt at the riverbed, several meters thick, prevented the wooden piles from reaching solid ground. Even if they were somehow forced in, the rushing current would scour away the surrounding mud, and the slightest wind or wave would cause them to float loose. The bridge simply wouldn't stand. Then, inspired by a winter insight, if you want to walk across deep soft snow without sinking, you increase the contact area with the surface. You loaded wooden boats with stones and dumped them along the bridge's axis into the river. The stones sank onto the silt, and under the constant scouring of the current, they compacted tighter and tighter. Gradually, a low stone causeway more than 500 meters long and 25 meters wide took shape. This was the world's first raft foundation. With a stable base in place, you could now build square piers on top. But the piers' broad faces caught the full force of the current head-on, making them vulnerable to being washed away. With a flash of ingenuity, you reshaped each pier into a boat-like, ship-shaped form, splitting the raging tidal waters in two and sharply reducing the impact force. Yet over time, the stones would still shift out of place. You devised another ingenious solution. This was a zone where fresh and salt water met. You cultivated oysters. On the piers, oysters reproduce rapidly, and their secretions combined with their calcareous shells act to bind loose stones firmly together into a solid whole, like a natural biological cement. The longer it stood, the stronger the structure became. This technique is known as oyster solidification. With the bridge foundation now rock solid, the final challenge remained. The wooden deck planks couldn't withstand the pounding waves. You went straight for the ultimate solution. During high tide, wooden boats carried the beams into position above the piers. As the tide ebbed, the boats settled lower, precisely dropping the beams into place. This became the earliest known floating beam placement method. Congratulations! You have invented one of China's 4 great ancient bridges, the LuoyangBridge. Ingeniously applying biology to reinforce the piers, it became the world's earliest surviving cross-sea stone beam bridge, earning it the title of the first bridge under heaven.